And now coming up next is our senior president, Omari Tatum.
Hey, I know him.
All right. To movie theaters, to churches, to schools, to workplaces, to many of the incidents that took the lives of innocent men, women, and children, we take this moment of silence to remember you. Students, teachers, staff, community members, elected officials, and members of the press, the student body is gathered here today in front of our school to acknowledge the tragedies we face periodically in our community. I've heard parents of school shooting victims say, "My child was at school, they were supposed to be safe." They were supposed to be safe. I know women that have been raped. I have family that have been robbed at gunpoint. I've lost friends that have been murdered before they were old enough to make a difference. Most of my friends don't know their fathers and their mothers because they're working so many hours that they don't have time for a family meal. We're all stuck on this uphill climb out of the inner city. No one has time for us. No one is watching us. No one is protecting us. I don't think our parents ever had the illusion that we were safe. I wonder what it's like to feel safe. This is where we go to school. This is the place we go to learn. The students here are my friends. The students here are my family. I come to school to have someone to talk to. I come to school to connect with others that have hope. Hope that there is a way out. And not just a way out, but a way to make here safe. But we don't feel safe here. Should I feel safe knowing that while I'm filling out my scholarship application, that someone is filling out an application for the gun that will kill me before I go to college? It's sad how in Missouri, it's more paperwork to fill out a scholarship than it is a gun. Should I feel safe knowing that while I dream about a career someday, someone else is dreaming up a way to penetrate these doors and shoot unarmed kids? Tell me why I should feel safe. Tell my parents that I'm safe. So what must we do to feel safe? We must make sure our elected officials know that we are here looking for creative solutions. We need to know that while we walk in this building hopes and dreaming of big dreams, we shouldn't need to think about who's coming through the back door. And I don't think the answer is giving teachers guns. If we give teachers guns to fight their intruder, will students need guns to protect them from the teaching? We ask our officials to stop trying to hide the issue of gun control by putting guns in the hands of teachers who are already underpaid and charged with the task of teaching us and preparing us for this cold world that they were elected to fix. The answer to gun control is not more guns. The fire needs water, not more fire. 85% of our elected officials run just for the name and the promotion. There's no more humanity in our officials. Parents pay these high taxes just so our legislators can sit in the chamber of the Capitol and argue whether deer season should go from August to March, when students are literally losing their lives from going to school in an unsafe community. Peers, I ask that you stand with me as we call for our local state representatives, such as Brandon Ellington, Richard Brown, and more, those courageous and upright legislators who do care to continue their fight for pushing legislation that actually affects our lives. We call on the state to stop making bills that charge us with felonies for fights with our fists, but do nothing to stop the mentally unhealthy man who comes home to our home and to harm us. We need gun control policies at work. We need more secure doors, windows, and classroom. We need staff to all have walkie-talkies. We need back doors monitors as carefully and closely as our front doors. We need identification badges on every student and teacher. We should require that teachers and students have professionals available for counseling. We should have enough teachers and professionals on staff that no student feels alone into school. So how do we get there? I'm not questioning the ability of our elected officials. I'm questioning their priorities. These are so many things they could do to make our school a safer place. I don't want to watch politicians argue about when deer season should be. I don't want to hear about sex scandals or the money they spend to decorate their office. I want them to talk about what they're going to do right now to make us feel safe. I want our school, our students, and our teachers, our friends, and our family to be the priority of our politicians. I'm calling our local, state, and national representatives to truly represent us, because we all matter, whether they like it or not. As an inner city school, it's literally life or death for us. And as a community, we need to show our elected officials that this is the show me state. If they continue to put us last, then come the next election cycle, they'll be out of the job.
Give it up one more time for Omari Tatum. And now we're going to have some few words from our councilman, Scott Taylor.
Omari's a tough act to follow. I'm not sure I want to try to follow him. He's want to thank you for your leadership in putting this together, and all the students for coming out and making your voices heard. I want to mention to you a couple things real quick. I'll be brief. We have, at the city level, we have no control over the gun laws. They're done at the state level and at the congressional level. And so we have tried, we've been overridden by the General Assembly. It's not our Kansas City area representatives that were just mentioned. They're fighting for you in Jefferson City. It's those outside of the city that don't understand the impact that guns have on us on a daily basis. And so we really need you to keep advocating. I just want to tell you, this is happening. Just got a report happening all over the city, as you know, all over the country. So you are a part of a day that you're going to be able to tell your kids and your grandkids about for years to come. Give yourselves a round of applause. I want to tell you, I've talked to so many people in this city that are so proud, so many adults that are so proud of what you're doing, and keep doing it. This shouldn't be just a one-day thing. This is the start of something bigger, and so keep up this effort. We have done one thing I want to mention to you in the budget coming up, where we can control things to reduce violence. We put in social workers in all the police stations to help families provide social services better. That'll reduce some of the domestic issues we're seeing. We will keep looking for innovative ways to partner with our schools and other levels, but we really need these laws to come back to a common sense thing. When I was on the school board, I will tell you, every ordinance that we had to pass, there was one question we had to answer yes to every time before we passed it. Is it good for the children? The answer had to be yes, or we wouldn't pass it. If they use that same standard in Jefferson City or in Congress, they wouldn't be passing these gun laws. Is it good for the children? And so that's right. We need common sense gun laws, background checks for everybody. We tried encouraging Congress to outlaw these bump stocks, which the only purpose is to kill a lot of people quickly. We don't need them in the city. They haven't acted yet, even after the massacre in Las Vegas. So we will continue to advocate for you, but I will tell you, you are getting a lot of attention in Jefferson City and Washington by being here today, by being vocal. But the next step is we have a lot of elections coming up. We need young people involved in the campaigns. So I would encourage you to find those candidates that support common sense gun laws and help them get elected, and then start working toward getting yourself elected to office. We need young people at all levels of government. And just from what I've heard today, I think we have a few future candidates here that'll be great, don't we? Right? Yeah. That's good. Want to thank you again for being here. We really appreciate it. I've talked to so many people that just really appreciate what you're doing. And I want to also, let's give a round of applause for your teachers and the administration here for supporting you. This is a great community effort, and just want to thank you again. Thank you very much, everybody.